What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing In the Heights, which is a movie that is made by that is based on the Broadway musical of the same name, and also in the creators of Hamilton. So obviously, if you're a fan of that, you'll probably enjoy this. Um okay, so I tried recording this before, but I was reading the synopsis and I kept messing it up because it's a big synopsis and everything. So I'm not really gonna give a synopsis for this one. Um, but I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about the movie. Um, and the synopsis here anyway isn't even like really a plot. I'd say synopsis. But going into this, I did not know what to expect because one, I haven't actually ever sat down and watched Hamilton. I've listened to some of the music, and I think the music's okay. I don't really want to judge Hamilton without having actually listened to the music and everything. So, but In the Heights though, I can. I've never listened to any of the music before watching this movie. I haven't even seen anything from the original stage production. Um, but I've been wanting to watch this for a while, and so I decided to sit down and give it a watch today. So In the Heights, going into our main character, who I'm pretty sure in the Broadway musical was probably played by Lin-Manuel Miranda. If I'm wrong, I can't say his name either very well, but I'm pretty sure he was played by him because like the main character in this, they make him look like him a lot. So if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry about that, but I have a pretty mighty strong feeling. Overall, the music, I think that's the main thing, is because like a lot of this movie is music. There is dialogue, obviously. There's a lot. It's a lot music. It's like this movie is like 2.5 hours long, and it is a lot of singing, which is fine. I used to think movies like that where it's just mostly singing, like I'm not the biggest fan of. But I think over the years my opinion has changed on that. So In the Heights though is such a fun time with the music. And I'm not going to judge it based on the Broadway musical or anything. I'm basing it on this movie alone because I haven't seen the Broadway. I know the musical existed before this, but like obviously this is my introduction to the film. So but personally, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think I would. It started out like, okay. I'm gonna like this. I'm not too sure, but I really enjoyed this. The songs are a lot of fun. They're very upbeat, and when they're not upbeat, they're still nice to listen to. A lot of the choreography on this is a lot. Sorry about that. The choreography in this is a lot of fun. Like you're having a lot of fun watching these guys dance and have a lot of fun. And I really think that the cast for this is a really nice cast. I don't really recognize really any of them from. I haven't really seen anything of that except for the actress playing Vanessa. I recognize her because she is in the latest Scream movies. So I would probably like to check out more of what she's done. She was great in this. Um, a lot of the songs are like a lot of the sequences of the like watching the movie. I'm like, I wonder how that's done on stage. Like, I really wonder how that's done on stage. Because it's one of those things where it's like I just really overall had a lot of fun with this movie. I think the like I said, the choreography, the dancing, and everything is just this movie is just an overall fun experience, and I think like it's just one of those movies where you're just like sitting there and like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling everything going on here. I'm enjoying it. I'm jamming. Like it is a lot of fun. Like I am super enjoying the movie, and I watched this with some friends, and I think they were enjoying it for the most part as well. Um, if I had to get any negatives, the movie does juggle a lot of plot points for people's individual stories, which doesn't surprise me because and I don't know if it flows any better, but like a lot of the times, like, okay, we're dealing with this person's story now, we're dealing with this person's story now. That's really my main criticism about the movie. I think the movie is overall a fun time. I think the actors are really doing a great job, and the emotional beats in this movie are done really well. There's this scene with an argument. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen the musical or the movie, but I feel like the emotion there is really done well. And this is probably one of the. It makes me want to go check out the Broadway musical and everything and I just think In the Heights was such a fun time. I think this movie really does a good job, and I think it is overall just something that I enjoyed. I will definitely go listen to a lot of these songs later. Uh, Obviously, I want to check out the original Broadway, obviously. But overall, this movie was just so much fun. I think they did a fantastic job with these characters, with the casting, and I just overall thought this movie was a blast. There's one scene, the emotional one that hits you. So if you're an emotional person, might want to grab some tissues for a certain scene in this movie. I'm not gonna give it away, but I think overall, In the Heights is so much fun, and I think this is also the same. I think Dear Evan Hansen came out the same year, 2021. Pretty sure they both came out the same year. Um, Actually, let me double check that real quick. Yeah, they were both 2021. Okay. And a lot of people didn't like that movie. This movie is seen a little more better, but yeah, I'd probably, even though I didn't hate the Dear Evan Hansen movie, I'd probably say this is a better musical film than Dear Evan Hansen. I'd say um, movie wise, but I do think this movie was a ton of fun, and I do think that if you haven't seen it, you need to give it a check. And I bet the musical is even better. I enjoyed this a lot. Critics give this movie a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is I expected a high rating. Maybe not that high, but uh, um and audiences give this movie a 94, which is super interesting that like critics and audiences are like right there together on this one. Because the movie's fun. And yes, Limwell has a cameo in it. He cameo obviously he's pretty sure he cameos in almost anything he works on. Um but yeah, overall, this movie was just a fun time, and I think if you are a fan of musicals, if you are a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda's work, if you're a fan of just musical movies or Broadway or anything like that, I think this is going to be right up your alley. Because it was right up mine. I enjoyed it. Uh, like this has been sitting in my Blu-ray collection for a while, and I'm just so glad that this was actually fun and it was good, and I got to enjoy a fun musical that like I really really enjoyed. There's a framing device in this movie as well with like um him telling his kids a story, and there's a twist that I didn't really see coming. I was like, oh okay. Um, but it's a fun overtime. It is such a fun time, and it's such good representation and everything. I think the movie is just great. I think this movie fantastic. I think it's fun, the animation and everything, and I feel like if this ever got like a sing along re-release, I would totally go and sing. Um, But yeah, that's all I've got to say for this review. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.